Hello everybody, and welcome to Brightco English channel. And as usual, this channel will always help you to become a fluent and confident speaker of the English language. So if you're first time to hit this channel, please remember to subscribe, also share and like with your friends too. Otherwise, we're still on the nouns, and this episode we are going to run the countable and uncountable nouns. The countable and uncountable nouns. So what are the countable and uncountable nouns? So as the name suggests, the word countable simply means the names of those things which we can count. Things, the physical things that you can count. And the uncountable nouns are those, depending on their nature, you cannot count them, all right? Take for instance, when I talk of maybe a book, books can be counted, so we call them countable nouns. But when you take things like liquid, like water, milk, you cannot count milk. Like you say, even soil, you cannot count them. So here, this way you're going to learn about the plurals, how to write the plurals or how to apply the plurals of the nouns. In this case here, both countable and uncountable. So we shall start with the plurals of the countable nouns. Plural of the countable nouns. And there's a little bit difference here, which I want you to be very keen so that you learn something out of it. Now, most people normally think that whenever you're talking about the plural of nouns, that you simply add s. Alright, it's also, it's applicable, but not applicable in all the cases, okay? Because we have got different ways through which you can form the plural of nouns, and one of them is by adding s directly to the what? To the noun in singular form. For example, when you say a word like maybe piano, you'll say pianos in plural. When you talk a word like victim, will become victims. When you talk about lamp, will be lamps, and the likes. So those ones here, they take direct s when you're writing them in what? When you're writing them in plural forms. Now, let us look at the second categories on how some of the plurals are formed of these countable nouns. There are certain nouns which end in certain sounds. For example, sound s, sound s. Another one ends in sound ch, sound ch. Another one sound x, x, like in the case of box. Okay, the sound. Another one maybe ends in. If you look at them, maybe if I give you example with the words which are formed there, like let's start with the word which ends in sound s, like in the case of like the word like compass. Okay, the word like compass. So you'll find that the plural will be compasses. So in this category, we add es. You don't add s like in the previous one. So here we add what? We add es in order to form the plural form. So when you say compass, so the plural for the word compass will be compasses. Okay? When you take word like bush, that one which ends in sound sh, like bush, trash, all those. Now when you're writing in plural, you say bushes, you say trashes. Okay? Another one which ends in sound ch, like in the case of church or match, so the plural will become matches or churches. You can see that. So we add es to them. The box will become boxes. So in that case, you can see those special one whereby they end in sound sh, sound s, sound ch, and even sound x. Okay, in the case of x, we add es so that we can form that. Okay, the third category here, let us look at those which end in o. Those which end in o. So the noun that ends in o, I want you to look at it in two ways so that you get to know how to put the plural form. So those ending in o, I want you to look at the letter that is preceding the o itself. So the letter that comes before the last o there. So ask yourself, is it a vowel or is it a consonant? So in the event whereby it is a consonant, it is not a vowel, it is a consonant. What are you supposed to do? You add es. So look at it here. A word that ends in o, a noun that ends in o, look at the letter preceding that o. If it is a consonant, just add es. For example, a word like hero, you'll become heroes. Word like volcano will become volcanoes. So in this case, you see that hero ends in o, and the letter before the o is what? R. So it becomes heroes. We add es at the end. Volcano. So in this case, it ends in o, and the letter preceding that o is a consonant, which is letter n, and therefore it becomes, it is a vowel, and therefore we say volcanoes. We add es. The rest, others like echo, echoes. Mango, mangoes. Tomato, tomatoes. So that's how it is. Then, very closely, another one which ends in o, but the letter preceding that o is a vowel. All right? So this one is treated like the first category. You simply add S directly. For example, you take a word like studio. Studio ends in O, but if you look at the letter preceding that O, is an I, E, which is a vowel. So studio, studios. When you look at a word like video, okay, it ends in O, and the letter before that O is A, which is a vowel. So we say video. Another one, radio, in that case. The next one also, those which ends in Y. The same way we treat those which ends in O. So in this case, you find that it ends in Y. The letter preceding the Y, if it is a consonant, you change the Y to I. Then you add ES. And then if it ends in Y and the letter preceding the Y is a vowel, you add S directly. So like in this case here, we talk of emergency, now it becomes emergencies. When you talk of injury, it becomes injuries. Another one which ends in that Y and the word letter preceding the Y is a vowel, you add S directly. Like when you say monkey, will become monkeys. When you talk of the key, will become keys, you add S directly to it. Okay, another one, you find that the ones which end in F, it will take S directly, like belief will become beliefs. Chief will become chiefs. But let us look at others which end in F or FE. They don't take S directly. What do? You change that F to V, and then you add ES. For example, when you say knife, will become knives. When you say hoof, will become hooves. And then lastly, there is that whereby they don't change. They remain as such. For example, you take sheep, remains sheep. When you take deer, remains deer, and all that. And then there is another one which we call the irregular. It doesn't take a regular form. Look at it, in biology it's very much common there. So like you take word like cactus, the plural for cactus is what? Cacti. Lava, like mosquito larva, it becomes larvae. Oasis, which may be the water points in the desert area, oasis, the plural will be oasis. Just like analysis will be analysis. So that's how it's supposed to be and how we form the what? The plurals of these regular words. Otherwise, that's what we have covered today about the countable nouns. We shall look at how we can handle the uncountable nouns, the plurals of the uncountable nouns in our next episode. Otherwise, remember, if you've not subscribed, subscribe, like, and share. Otherwise, see you in the next episode for the uncountable nouns. Thank you, and see you next.